Oh, darling, is that you?
Mom, why are you calling me here?
Oh, thank God. Are you all right?
Yes, but they kidnapped David, and we don't know where he is.
Sweetheart, are you in any danger?
No, I'm fine, believe me. Look, it's David you've got to worry about.
And what about Jenny? Is she with him?
No, but she hasn't been all along. She's safe, I think. Look, I have to get off the phone because we're waiting to hear from them.
And Clint and Vicky, are they all right?
Yes, they're here with me. Mom, I'll explain everything when I get home. Bye.
All right.
What about Brad?
Oh, what about Brad? Cass... Sorry, she'd already hung up.
We still don't know anything.
Well, I'm sure he's all right, but she didn't even mention him. Everybody's all right except for David. He was apparently taken away in a car.
I can't believe you didn't even bother to ask about Brad. Forget about firing me, Dorian, because I quit.
So am I, Connie. I just really am surprised that you've given your heart to Brad so completely. I mean, under the circumstances.
Well, you know, I didn't do it all on purpose. You'd think I would have learned by now, but I don't know, I saw him again, and my life is very crazy right now.
Tell you what, I think if he were hurt, Cassie would have let me know.
Well, do you think, what do you think would happen if they found David and they just left Jenny?
You mean, what would Brad do? I think he would go after her the way he always has. I'm sorry, but I really did think this wasn't the time to pretend.
No, it's not like I haven't thought about this already. It just really hurts me, you know, and someone else has to say it, too. I've got a really thin thread on Brad.
Well, could be a lot sturdier than you think. Unless, of course, Jenny yanks it.
Okay, let's say the good guys win. Let's say David and Jenny are reunited and there's a happy ending.
Then Brad would be able to reassume his identity, right?
Yeah, but in terms of us, I mean, he's always going to compare me to Jenny. Will I ever be able to compete with this woman?
And if everything turns out all right, you won't need to worry about Jenny.
Well, it's not my memory I'm concerned with, it's Brad.
Connie, come on now. I mean, the man really isn't worth it. No man is. If he doesn't appreciate you for what you are, then who needs him?
Well, can you speak for yourself on that with David when he was after Jenny?
Oh, you could tell I was talking from experience. Yeah, I don't know what that woman has. However, whatever you do, don't try and imitate her.
I don't want to imitate her. I just wish I could see into the future.
No use. He's going to have to hurt you very badly before you give him up.
You say that like you're so sure that he will.
I've known him for many years. Just prepare yourself. Listen, I'm going to change and go over to Ace's. Richard Abbott said he was going to be there running a background check on Craig Stone. You stay here, please, because I'm hoping that Cassie will be true to her promise and call.
Yeah, right? Sure. Okay.
Gunter, also known as Firefly, is residing in Landview using one of his many aliases. Mr. Gunter is a killer who will kill for the highest bidder. Craig Stone? Is he this Firefly?
Richard thinks so.
Well, go ahead. Print his name on the front page.
Damn it, Dorian, we have enough proof. We don't need a libel suit.
We don't need Cassie in any danger, and unless you stop this...
This will stop them. We don't have to print his name on the front page for him to know we caught on to him. Once he sees the article, old Stone will hightail it pronto.
Pronto isn't fast enough for me. I want this man out of town before Cassie comes back from Vienna. Asa, please, print an extra edition. Get this out on the streets just as fast as possible.
Asa, what the hell is going on?
She knows all about Craig Stone.
Calm down. It's not going to be anything drastic. I'm just going to make a special announcement before I begin the interview. Yes, I can assure you, it's not going to be a large... What are you doing here? No, I wasn't talking. Make the changes. I will get to the studio as soon as I possibly can. Goodbye, Jim. What a surprise to see you here.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry. I tried calling, but your phone's been busy nonstop. I was worried about you, Dorian.
You were?
Well, yeah. I mean, you seemed so frightened on the phone, and when I told you that I'd help you, you seemed relieved, so... You are still worried about Paul Kendall, aren't you?
Oh, yes. Yes, I certainly am, but you'll have to forgive me. I must get to the studio.
Well, does that mean you still want my help?
Positively. It's just that in light of certain recent developments...
You mean with Cassie?
Yes, I got word from Vienna about her and her natural father.
David Rinaldi was supposed to defect today, right?
Yes, except the situation has become more complex and dangerous for Cassie.
Oh, is there anything I can do to help?
Not in this case, but thanks for the offer. Honestly, please forgive me, but I've got to get to the studio and do my television show.
Yeah, that's okay. I understand. Just one other thing.
Mm-hmm.
Did you take my advice and call the police about the Kendall letter?
No, I thought about it, and I decided that that would just make the person write me more letters or perhaps escalate and actually do something about his threat.
So we're just going to pretend like you didn't receive the letter taped to your front door.
But more importantly, John, I did not call the police because you promised me that you would take care of it yourself.
Well, I'm only one man. I mean, I can only do so much, you know?
You promised. You said that you would look into it.
And I meant it. Fact is, I've already checked into Paul Kendall and his background. I did some checking with some of my private sources, too. Kendall's not a man to take lightly, Dorian. I mean, frankly, I'm very worried about you.
Are you?
Yeah.
Well, if you're so worried, then perhaps you'd better protect me. There's one problem in that. If you're going to do a good job protecting me, you're going to have to get an awful lot closer, aren't you?
Is that what you want, Dorian?
You wouldn't hear me objecting.
Well, I do care about what happens to you.
Why?
Well, isn't it obvious?
Not to me.
I mean, well, you know, ever since we met, I've just kind of had this personal interest in your welfare.
Of my welfare.
Well, yeah, I mean, you know what they say, when you save somebody's life, you kind of feel responsible for it.
Oh, you're here out of a sense of responsibility.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, no. But in a way. Can we sit down and let me just try and make this simple for you?
Oh, absolutely, yes.
Look, I just think that you ought to take my advice and report this letter to the police. Whether it came from Paul Kendall or just some thrill-seeking weirdo.
That's what you came all the way over here to say? You could have phoned that in.
Well, there's something else.
I'm waiting.
Strangers. I want you to be very wary of strangers.
You came all the way over here to say that? John, I have known that ever since my mother told me not to take candy from them.
I know, but it sounds confusing to you, I'm sure.
No, it's not your words that are confusing. It is what's behind them that I find mysterious. John, ever since we met, that marvelous encounter, there's been a certain chemistry, a spark between us. I know that I felt it, and I'm willing to bet that you felt it, too.
Please, we don't need to...
Look, I also feel that you are a man who feels very uncomfortable with his true feelings. Sincerely, which makes you not just a private eye, but a very closed, insecure one.
Really? And, lady, I don't know where you get these ideas.
Where am I getting it from?
Yeah.
How about the way you pull me to you and then push me away? That's where I'm getting it from, John. I mean, if I'm wrong, please instruct me. If I'm right, then tell me. How am I supposed to respond to all these mixed signals you're sending out?
You've got me all wrong. If I'm sending mixed signals, it's not intentional.
Intentional or not, that's exactly what you're doing. Now, why?
I don't know. It's just kind of hard for me to talk about these things, okay?
Obviously.
Look, what do you want me to say? That I'm attracted to you? Yes, I am attracted to you.
Thanks a lot. You said that as if you wish it weren't true.
Well, I do. I just can't simplify my life the way you want me to. I can't ignore all the complications.
Oh, you keep on talking about these complications. There is a woman in your life, right?
No, it's my work. Like I told you, those are the complications.
Your work? Well, why don't you talk to me about your work and your problems? I mean, you certainly know about mine, personal, professional. It's only fair that I listen to yours.
No, we are two different people, Dorian. We have different problems.
We're different people with different problems. You're so right. That's very good. Okay, one of my problems is that I have to get to my studio and do my show.
Dorian, please, I'm only trying to say that...
John, you are a fascinating man.
Thank you.
Danger doesn't frighten you.
Sometimes.
But feelings do.
Dorian, Look, I would love to tell you what you want to hear. Really.
I wish you could, too. So let's make a deal. if you ever find that your life is less complicated, give me a call. Until then, I guess you'll get back to me about this Paul Kendall business.
I'll get back to you. That is for sure. I'm sorry. Can I walk you to your car?
Yeah. Thanks. Thanks a lot.